So our topic for this oral presentation is student expenditure among DKA4A in Politeknik Merlimau, Melaka.
Hello, my name is Nuraisyah binti Zamri. My number metric is 14DKA20F2042.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Afifah Athirah binti Zamrin. My number metric is 40DKA20F2043.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurqashrina Dania Binti Hairul Azuraine and my registration number is 14DKA20F2044.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Adzreena Natasya Binti Mohd Nadzri. My number metric is 14DKA20F2045.
Now we move on to our introduction. Why we choose this topic? What's the issues about? What's the problems? So as we all know that recently Malaysians or Malaysia citizens were shocked by the news where our economy and price of most goods are increased as well as our cost of living. So we, as students, must experience some difficulties, some problems, some issues. I mean, not all, but there must be some students. Because we know that a lot of money is needed when being a student. And we want to know the estimated of cost of living as a student. I mean, roughly, like how much a student needs, whether they are under budget or they are over the budget.
The objective why we choose this topic is because firstly, to find out the averages attitude of student in the class. Next is to find out if student orders on facial management. And lastly is to find out student tendencies in spending money because it's important to know how you manage your daily expenses.
For the methodology, we collect our data by using Google Form, and this is our link. We have 3 sections, which is the first one is demographic, second student income, third student expenses. For the population among DKA4A is 44 students. Now we reach 93% of respondents, which is 41 respondents.
Now we move on to our finding and analysis. In this section, we use 2 types of graph or charts. The first one is a bar graph or a histogram, and the second one is a pie chart. So a bar graph is a pictorial representation using vertical or horizontal bars in a graph. The length of bars are proportional to the measure of data. It is also called a bar chart. A histogram is also a pictorial representation of data using rectangular bars that are adjacent to each other. Both of these graphs shows frequency of data, while a pie chart is a circle that is divided into areas or slices. Each slice represents the count, percentage or ratio of the observations of level for the variable.
Start with the section 1, which is demographic. I will explain what's the meaning of it. Demographic is like information that allows you to know certain background characteristic of an audience, whether by their age, race, income, work situation, and many more. Based on our demographic questions, they were asking about gender, registration number, age, status, which divide either in relationships or single. And the last question is required to put an email of the students. Through that, we can easily collect these types of information. In section 2, we ask about students' income.
From pie chart, it is about the percentage of expenses given by parents every month. From this pie chart, it is clear that only 3 types as the same percentage, which is 19.5%. There are 1 to 100, 101 to 200, and by your one. Then for 70.1%, we have 201 to 300 ringgit. For 20.2%, we have 401 to 500 ringgit. Move on to next part. Wash is the percentage of borrower from PTPTN loan. In this case, we clear about there are 58.5% students that do borrow the PTPTN. Then for 41.5%, they will borrow PTPTN. According to this pie chart shown the percentage of part-time job, based on this pie chart, there are 75.6% students who are not doing a part-time job, while the another 24% students are doing part-time job. Based on the pie graph, we have 60.2% of students who are doing the part-time job during the weekend. Then for 8.1% students who are doing part-time job during the weekday.
In section 3, we ask about students' expenses.
We continue for the first questions, which is student expenses every month. This is data that we get in graph that we collect using Google Forms. So we simplified it to make the graph easier to explain. As we can see, the graph shows the number of students who spend their money in the range of 101 until 200 are 8 people. Next, 201 until 300 are 9 people. Then 301 until 400 are 8 people. Next, 401 until 500 is 9 students. 501 until 600 ringgit is 2 persons only. 601 until 700 is 1 person only. 701 until 800 is 1 person. 801 until 900 is 1 person. For the last is 901 until 1000 is 1 person. Next, what our expenses used for is for food is 25%, groceries 16%, online shopping is 90%, stationery is 40%, hanging out is 16%, basic needs is 19%, charity is 7%, Kebang and others is 1%. Then for their parents is 1%. For the next question is, while being a student, have a vehicle or not? For yes is 30% have a vehicle. For no is 50 respondents. Okay, for the type of vehicles, that use car is 11%. Next, for motorcycle is 20 students. For no vehicles is 13 students.
While we do the survey, we've asked a question to the students in our Google form about whether the expenses have increased or not after the government has announced that most of goods are increased. Let's have a look at this pie chart. There are 24.4% of students has answered no, which means their expenses are not increased. On the other side, there are 75.6% of students are experienced with these issues, which means the students do feel that their expenses has increased. If you look at this chart, you will notice that 45.7% of students see that their expenses are not increased, while 8.6% of students are answering 20% and 50%, which means some students experience with an increase of 20% and some experience with a 50% increase of their expenses. And only a small minority has answered that they are not sure, and some answered forget. Yeah.
The last explanation, I will tell you the conclusion of students' expenditure among DKA4A in Politeknik Merlimau, Melaka. From the Google form that we have analysed, we can find out the average expenditure of students. Next, based on all of the data we have collected, we can see how students spend their money throughout their students' life. Then, we know the students' financial source. And the last but not least, we also know whether students are spendthrift or thrifty in finance. This data is one of the important since that can be the main cause why students don't have enough money to spend.